Ugandans are slow but steadily moving away from the traditional subsistence farming, replacing it with commercial agriculture. Today on Seeds of Gold, we travel to Ranyangwe village in Kirura district, a place well known for livestock farming, and our focus today is commercial goat farming. Coming up on Seeds of Gold.
Goat farming used to be something small way back in time, but nowadays it can be a bigger business compared to cattle keeping. This goat particularly is 9 months old and it was born from here. When I'm selling it, this baby can go up to 1.5, the least. And the good thing with it, you start with what you have.
Defining one's objective before starting to rear goats is a very important component. Why are you rearing goats? Is it for the meat, milk, wool or leather? Today, we meet Amil Wamala, a goat farmer who cautions that one has to do a case study first for any farming venture.
My journey is so interesting. You can't believe it. I started in 2020, in August. Yeah, that's when I started goat farming. After visiting a number of farmers to see how they do, I was so interested and I started goat farming. I started with local ones for about 8 months. My reason was to first study how to take care of goats and all that. When I got enough experience, and that's when I started these exotic goats.
The most important and common indigenous goat breeds of Uganda are the small East African, Mwende and Chigezi goats. However, currently there are many new and exotic breeds on the market.
Primary characteristics of a Boer goat is the brown scarf, then the dropping ears. Those are the major 2 things that you have to focus on. And maybe the chest. Me as a breeder now, I can see a goat and I see the chest and tell you that this is good, this is a good breed. Yeah. Sometimes you find 100% goat, Boer goat, the ear is not dropping completely, like up to maybe beyond the mouth. You see this back? The ears can drop up to beyond the mouth, but it's not 100% breed. Yeah, it is not. It is between 85 and 92%. But when someone comes and they have in their mind that a pure breed of Boer, the ears must be dropping, they are wrong. That's not the characteristic. The main one is actually knowing the background of the parents of a goat. That's when you track records of the right percentage of a pedigree.
Barely 2 years since he started this venture with 15 female goats and 1 male, Amil has grown his portfolio to over 180 goats. How does he do it?
Give my farm time. Most of the time actually I'm here. People look at goat farming as something very small, but it is not. Goat farming used to be something small way back in time, but nowadays it can be a bigger business compared to cattle keeping, and it brings money faster than cattle breeding. Yeah. And the good thing with it, you start with what you have. You start with what you have and you grow slowly. My management is about time, giving time, visiting the farm quite often, and of course taking care of the workers because they are the bosses of this area. Whenever I am here or not, they are the ones that are responsible for everything. So it's very important to create a relationship between you and your workers. not to take them like workers, but like family members.
Emil does not leave anything to chance on this farm. Security is paramount.
I installed the cameras in the pen, and I have a security light that comes on and off. For security camera, I use my phone to monitor everything that is done at the farm. For example, when the goat is born and I'm away, I see it even before the caretaker has seen it already. And for the light, when someone steps in at night, it comes on. And it helps the camera to get a proper vision to see who has come inside. The whole set costs like 1.2 million Ugandan shillings. Yeah, it is not costly to me. It is worth it because I'm not stressed, wondering how the animals are. Did the boys clean the pen? All that I see it from the camera.
Emil rears his goats using the free-range system because he has the acreage to do so, and also for the fact that it's cost-effective compared to zero grazing.
People feed their goats in different ways, but for me here I do free-range because I have enough land. They go in the morning, come back in the evening. Yeah, but there are many choices of goat breeding. You can choose to have zero grazing, which also work very well when you don't have enough land. So any piece of land that you have, you can start with to do goat farming. We release goats depending on the weather. When it's rainy season, we first let the ground dry because goats fall sick during the rainy season. They get worms from the grass. And it happens when the grass is still wet. That's why they pick eggs for the worms to get diseases. So when it's sunny season, normally between 10 and 11, there's no morning dew in the grass, and it's also dangerous for the foot rot. They get issues with foot rot. Another disease that disturbs goats during rainy season is off. Yeah, it's a disease that causes rashes. It causes rashes on the lips, and it disrupts them a lot. So those are the reasons as to why we give time when it's rainy season. It can even reach at up to 1. Goats cannot feed when it's raining or when the grass is wet because they don't deal with water. They don't like stepping in water, and that's why they fall sick a lot during rainy season. Yeah, and they don't look as good as they look when it's dry spell. They do better in dry season.
Emil has a combination of the local breeds and hybrid goats. The hybrid goats mature fast and therefore fetch money quicker.
If you want to do business in goat farming, go for exotic goats because they grow fast, and feeding and medication and vaccination is like other animals, like other goats. So the money you spend on local goat is the same amount of money you spend on exotic. And exotic goats grow faster compared to the local ones.
However, for good outcomes, a farmer has to avoid subjecting the goats to stress, including housing them in a comfortable shelter.
Animals are like human beings. They are like human beings. For example, they get stressed, they get tired. Things that stress goats, first of all, housing. It's very important. Before you venture into goat farming, you have to make sure that you have a good house for them. And according to how you see, these are animals. Some people do make mistakes and they construct a house like for a human being. They are animals that need space within. They need aeration. They're not like human beings. They have fur. They don't need that. When you compact them in the house, which is constructed like for human beings, it will fall sick. It will fall sick and it will like somehow suffocate. it will lead to fall sick and get stress. Another stress factor is feeding. Some animals are not used to walk a long distance for feed. Like some people have goats in the houses, they're grazing. You cannot bring it and put it on free range and you think that it will maintain the body size and all that, like how these ones are already used to. So here there is water. Where they graze from, there is grass, there is water. Yeah, goats, like other animals, need water most of the time. After browsing, they have to go and look for water to drink.
When a farmer has a large number of goats like our males, they are bound to have a female giving birth almost every day, and sometimes this new life is punctuated by complications. The pen unstrap injection is applied.
So this one is going to be injected with pen and strap because it had an issue when it was giving birth. The kid was somehow stuck like in a cervix, pelvis. So it has pain within the bones, but it is given this pen and strap, penicillin, to reduce the pain. This kid was released. It is 1 month and 2 weeks. It is not yet 2 months. But this gentleman always see them like they're old, but it's not the right thing. This is the size that I freely give. I freely allow to go and graze with the mothers. So the mothers stay here. The big number of the goats, the mothers, stay here, and the kids, after breastfeeding for about 2 to 3 hours, they separate the kids to their pen.
As the kids transition to adulthood, another problem presents: inbreeding. Every farmer needs to know how to overcome the problem of inbreeding so as to avoid having related animals mating and producing bad quality offsprings.
They graze differently. They don't mix at all. Each goat has a tag, let's say from 1 to 100. So these ones are one of the full blood I have that were brought from South Africa. These are the mothers that I can't get out, that cannot get out from the kraal. Yeah, they're always here to give me offsprings to sell. This is for bucks, for males. We don't mix males that mount with the females. We do natural synchronization, where we introduce bucks when the females are ready to conceive. They're on heat. That's when we bring the buck. When it's 8 months old, it gets on heat. After getting first time offspring from the mothers, I sell the buck immediately.
Diseases are some of the challenges farmers face in this business. These have not spared Amigo Farm Limited.
First of all, when you start goat business, goat farming, you have to make sure that you have plans for vaccination. Many people lose their animals because of viral infections. There are so many diseases that kill goats that you cannot even find out unless you call a doctor to do post-mortem and tell you that it was killed by PPR or what. The most important thing about these animals is vaccinate. I lost a lot of kids because of pneumonia and fleas. I didn't know that kids for exotic goats need to sleep in an enclosed area, like how I'm going to show you from inside. You see what I was telling you about pneumonia? You see how it is covered with a tarpaulin, but it is very safe for the kids. You see the space up? that is the space that is supposed to be given to the kids, they cannot suffocate and they cannot feel the coldness. This is how the house is supposed to be for the kids. And you put the carpet to control their feet from passing in the gaps of the timber. When it's cold, they get too much affected. They get running nose and they get pneumonia. They die. I lost about 25 kids at a go within like a week. Another challenge was fleas. Fleas also kills kids for goats. Unknowingly, you find it is okay. By the time you come back in the evening, you find it's dead. So it's very important to always check in the fur. Not all places around the country that have fleas. Risks, people fear them, but what they need is care. As I've told you, housing, treatment, and vaccination. That's all, nothing else.
We will take a short break, and when we return, just how big is the market for goat's meat? The market for goats is overwhelming, and most farmers can attest to this fact. If you seriously venture into this business, you will surely reap. This market cuts across regions and beyond country.
If you could see this goat, it is, I have records by the way. When a kid is born, I do record keeping. I note them down. This goat particularly is 9 months old. 9 months old. It has not given birth yet. And it's not yet pregnant. So you can imagine it's 9 months old and it was born from here. So for example, if I bought a mother, let's say 1 million for breeding, and I have this baby already. I have this baby already. When I'm selling it, this baby can go up to 1.5, the least. I do export to Kenya, Tanzania, and DRC. So far, I've covered 3 countries. The market I got is through my Facebook page. I created a Facebook page, and I post my goats. People see them and like them. The market is overwhelming. That's what I have to tell everyone. Market for goats is still virgin in Uganda. I sell seasonally. A client can ask me, I want goats, I say, wait up to August. I sell my goats when they are from 5 months and above. Yeah, that's what I do. Because I know that it's wind and it's safe to go to another place.
Our local goats have always stood the test of time. They are very resilient and resistant to diseases even under harsh African conditions. At Amigo Farm Limited, both local and exotic breeds are reared, although separated.
I have local goats which don't stay here. They have their own pen. So, and they graze differently. The workers are different. Those that take care of these ones are not the ones that are taking care of the other ones. And the grazing, they have different paddocks. Yeah, they don't mix at all. The advantage with these goats, you can see even the housing is different. They are so resistant to diseases. They are not fragile like the other ones that we've seen first, the exotic ones. They can sleep even out. There is no any side effect that can cause them to fall sick. So as you see them, they are not so like locals as how people may say. For example, this one, you see it's a crossbreed somehow, but I cannot mix them with the other ones because the percentage is very, very low to mix with the other ones. That manure, we have a banana plantation here, just across. The boys carry them to the banana plantation.
Amigo is a mixed farm and has Frisian cows too that Alex here takes care of. These delicate exotic cows have contributed enormously to the success of this farm, as Alex explains.
Then on a daily basis, we are producing 200 liters, and I always supply breeds, the female cows, for other people, for the community members who want to change on their breeds, because as you see, it is of the high breed. That's why you see that they are producing high milk yields. The milk is very high. Some of them, or number of good cows, are producing 12 to 15 liters per day. That is in the morning, because we are selling milk in the morning. Then in the evening, we are not the calves stay with their mothers. Then in the afternoon, we take them to another paddock. Then we milk in the morning, and even we are not having the market during the daytime because most of the trucks are transporting milk in the afternoon, so we don't get a chance of selling the evening milk.
There are 20 milking cows at the moment. The 100 acres land is effectively used to rear goats, cows and some banana plantation for feeding the family. With these cows, a daily income is guaranteed.
The Frisian, originally I started with the local cows. Then later on, I kept on crossing until I get a good breed, and I just reduced on the number because of the land. As you see, the land is not enough to accommodate for almost 100 cows. Currently, I am having 60 cows. The land is 100 acres. That's where we are basing, because it is catering for goats and the cows. Even where I am having the 4 acres of banana plantation up there, it is also included in 100 acres.
Cattle keepers in this area generally face the challenge of drought and the fluctuating milk prices.
The challenges we are having on the farm, most especially, is drought. You see, currently we have been having a persistent drought for so long. That's why you see the grass is very short. It's not there. It's not enough to accommodate. And then when the grass is short, it will lead us to limit on the number of cows, such that you can get a minimum number which can be accommodated in the land and get enough pasture to look after them. Another one, we are having a challenge of price fluctuation. During the rainy season, prices almost move down to 500 per litre. While when you move to Kampala, you say the litre is 2,500, but for us the price is almost down. And now we need to look after the farm, we need to pay the workers, we need to buy caricides, rock salt for the animals. The cost is high, and then the income will be low.
Goat farming is not rocket science, according to Amil, and anyone with a piece of land, however small, can venture into this enterprise. You too can make it and make a good living out of it.
Housing is very, very important. Construct a house for your goats. Then start with what you have. You can start with 2 females and 1 buck, depending on how much you have. I told you, even if you are in a house of which is seated on a land of 50 by 100, you can keep your 5 goats. You do the grazing and look for pastures out. The advice I give to the youth is don't rush into town. There are so many opportunities in village other than selling your land and go to buy border and, you know. If you have 500,000, you can start what I'm doing. Start small, grow big.
Next week on Seeds of Gold, we continue to traverse through this lush countryside, one district at a time, learning from the farmers in this area that have managed to make the soils spit out money.